And we could do that, and we could combine the endurance test of stands, along with me getting some important feedback on how it's looking. So we could combine those two.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as far as I'm concerned, yes. Yeah, it's in fact it's recording right now. So whatever we want to do as a family,
Okay.
we can do.
Okay.
Okay.
Any objections to doing a walkthrough toward the back of the kids' bedroom bathroom is in particular interest to me, but all of it is of some interest. Okay.
Bill,
Yeah.
um, you about um, I
Sorry
think
about that. I won't be able to stop them from barking. And
I Bill remember the walls being painted. It was very, very. It's a tint of green.
Yes, yes, I
You,
agree, Margaret. Yes,
you think it was a green, a pastel, light pastel
very.
green?
That,
Yeah,
Okay.
oh, notice it. It's
Okay. Okay, what I'm hearing people say is the living room paint should be a light pastel green. Is that right?
and the dining room,
Oh,
yes,
dining room. Okay.
yes.
Uh,
probably the hallway.
I'll put it every place I can until otherwise notified. Light pastel green.
Yeah. It was
Uh,
just a hint of green to it.
okay. I think I can find something that'll look like that. The colors I can modify better. So living room, dining room,
Yes.
um,
Oh,
hall, question mark.
yeah.
was the trim the
I
same
would
color, or
imagine it's all the same.
was the trim the same color or a different color?
I want to say it was the same. I don't remember it being a contrasting color.
I don't either.
I'll I will put the green in. I made a note of it, and probably do that later on today. It's at a point where much of this stuff is very quick. Um, okay, move on to the dining room.
Uh-huh.
Sure,
Here
sure.
we go. Okay. Again, a lot of substitutes. One of the substitutes we have is that there's nothing here uh, currently. Um, but we can, we now have, let's see if this opens. Oh, it looks like I need to fix the, the bird cage disappeared. Okay, fix bird cage. The TV set. How about this hutch? This hutch is cobbled together with two
Good, good.
pieces of furniture. Was it really that high? Approximately higher, lower?
I,
Um,
it
I'm
looked
look I'm
pretty.
looking at it right now because I'm sitting right next to it.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's neat.
Um, well, if you're it from this angle, from your angle on the screen,
Uh-huh.
it's a bit too tall, just but not too
It
much too
it
tall.
it, it matches it's level with roughly with the door at the top of the door.
Okay, well then that would be right. That's
Okay.
yeah.
I, I was
Okay.
I was wondering if this is an okay time to ask. Did we have a sign? Not a sign, but did we all sit in the same spot each night?
I kind of think so.
I would guess so, but I don't remember.
I was sitting with my back to the big window on the left there, and then yeah,
Here.
that me, the dad straight across. Um,
You
uh,
mean over here?
yeah, right there. Mom left of dad, left. Is it you're the other way, Bill. Toward the living room.
Your other left.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
you're-
left.
Yes, that.
Okay. Oh, yeah, close to the kitchen door where she can run in for additional supplies.
And then Stan would have been on the left by the. But see, when we had the round dining room set, I don't remember Pat or you, Bill, being home. I just remember it was usually just the four of us, Mom, Dad, Dan, and I.
Yeah. Yeah, good. That's an interesting question. But I think like sitting in a pew, we tend to kind of go to the same place all the time.
Right. Yeah.
You, Dan,
Yes. Uh-huh.
do you remember?
I remember like you. So, Dad and was sitting in that chair, and then you to the left, Mom, Pat, and Bill. I think Pat. I think you sat next to Mom. I think, as I recall, and Bill. I think you sat next to Margaret. I think, if I'm remembering it right.
You're always spilling my milk.
Yeah.
I could put a milk puddle on that table. The Margaret Memorial milk puddle.
Yeah.
My confusion in that is, why did you always give me a full glass of milk?
You know, it's like we never learned.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you were that was a talent you took with you on the road too. I mean, we could be some obscure place in Nebraska and
with me everywhere. Straws.
yeah.
But,
They never learned.
When did you stop drinking milk, Margaret? Because I don't remember you drinking, spilling milk recently.
Well, I gave up milk. It was
It was too much to handle, huh?
so, yeah.
okay, anything else in the living room for the moment? You know, we always come back. So
So is the bench on the floor there, Bill? Is that what that is in the corner?
where's that?
On the floor in the corner? Right
Bird
there.
cage.
Oh,
Bird
that's,
cage.
yeah.
I made a note I need to put the birdcage back up. And I'll
Oh,
do that.
listen.
That's nice. That you do that.
They're in the utility room. I put Piston in his cage.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
neat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
What's the little black thing next to him? What's that? A pile of folded
In
clothes
here. Oh, in the kitchen.
in the utility room.
Oh, that's a pile of towels, carefully folded.
Right. All right. That's
Yeah.
perfect. A piston cage.
It is.
It's an upside down waste paper basket.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that don't quite fit, but and the total kludges in some cases.
Oh, found a mixing bowl. Yeah. That
Yeah,
Oh, neat.
there weren't many to select from, but this was one of them.
I think that's
And
awfully
there's
close.
also a plaque that's up. I could not find a can opener, folks.
Oh.
Yeah, no can opener
It-
as of
in-
yet.
In my mind, the kitchen was like where the radio is setting. It's
Uh-huh.
like there would have been like two banks of cupboards there. In my memory, it's like it was a bigger room. This looks
Yeah.
pretty small, but I bet this is correct.
Well,
Yeah.
it could be. It could be. Any critiques are certainly welcome.
Oh, the
If
drawers.
some- What's that?
The silverware drawer in that is. There's supposed to be like 3 drawers on the end there. Is that right, Pat?
On the yes, to the right
Yeah,
end.
this
Yeah.
isn't long enough, is it?
Well, was there just one cupboard then, maybe, in the corner?
No, I think I think there were additional, shelves, to the left of the drawers. Yeah,
Okay.
but with a door, I mean, it was all closed, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
I'm pretty sure that there were shelves to the left of the silverware drawers.
yeah, I
Okay.
think you're right. Bill, is it possible that the refrigerator is too large, too deep?
It looks like it easily could be too large, and that means we could move this entryway over a little bit. I'll check the size of it, or just make it. It doesn't have, this isn't science, right? It's optics. It's how we see it. I make fridge smaller. I'll try that and see what you guys think.
And Bill, you and I were trying to remember over the stove, over the top of the stove. Wasn't
Oh,
there a rack of some kind that held spatula and fork and that sort? Oh, there, yeah,
Oh,
like that was. And Bill and I were trying to remember, and I thought I remembered that those things there, but I don't. I'm not sure if I'm right or not.
maybe. It's not real clear in my mind, Stan.
Mine either, yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't, saying it like that doesn't ring any bells for me.
It doesn't. Oh, okay. All right. It's possible then I was remembering something that's not there.
shall we leave it for now?
I remember Mom's set, and I remember it hanging up somewhere, so maybe it was there. I'd say leave it for now.
I would too, yeah, just leave it.
There's
So what is it that you remember, Margaret?
I remember the set, the utensil set that
Oh, the
hung up
utensil set.
with the
Oh,
black kind of ebony.
mhm,
I have
Yeah.
a similar set. Maybe it is Mom's the one I have. I don't know.
mhm.
The paper towel rack or holder.
Yeah.
She she wanted to join in.
oh my
Yes.
gosh. They went to the vet and with Izzy, so that's what this is all about. That's why
Oh,
he's talking so much.
Oh, is that a complaint that he's offering?
He's wondering why he didn't go or why Izzy's
Oh,
gone. He doesn't.
oh,
I
well, I
don't
don't
think he
blame
knows
him.
why. Yeah.
I do believe we only had a single bay sink. I don't remember it being a double bay sink.
Oh, well, is that right?
I don't know.
I I only remember it being one.
Um,
Well, you have a picture, Margaret.
eh,
You could tell us.
I do. But um, it's
But,
not at an angle where you can actually see the sink.
oh, okay. I think you're right, though.
uh,
I don't think we had a double. I think it was a
okay,
single.
okay, I'm making a note.
I do remember standing at that sink peeling potatoes and being chastised by my younger siblings because I wasn't peeling them right.
Oh, is that
Uh,
right?
yeah, I
What?
remember that argument, and
Oh, you do?
I I tattled on you, didn't I? Tattle on you
I don't
about you
remember,
doing them
no,
wrong.
I'm probably, but I don't
Yeah.
remember. I don't think I got into trouble for not peeling the potatoes right.
What were you doing right, Pat?
Well, I guess maybe I was taking too much off, maybe.
Oh, oh.
Did
I
you did you
yeah,
use a little potato peeler or a knife?
I only remember using a potato peeler,
Yeah.
but
I,
oh, go
I,
ahead, go ahead, Margaret.
well, was it something to do with digging the eyes out or something, and you just kept peeling over them or something, or
Yes, I always peeled over them.
Yes,
That little gougey thing just never worked for me.
right, yeah, and I'm pretty sure that that's what it was about, Margaret.
well, I remember you getting pretty offended at me about saying anything about how you were peeling the potatoes.
Well,
Whippersnapper.
well, I was pretty offended about a lot of things at that age.
Yeah, that certainly is an age
Well,
where folks are easily offended.
you were
Yes,
probably about what 15 or something, and
yes,
uh,
yes,
maybe
yeah, yeah.
Well, how old would that make Stan and you, Margaret?
Pat's 10 years older than me, 8 years older than Stan. Is that right, Pat?
Yes, yeah,
Okay, so I would have been 5. Stan would have been 7.
about
And
7,
7
yeah,
or so?
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, well, they're usually authorities on things at that age.
Especially cooking.
Yeah, yeah, potato peeling. We were experts at potato peeling.
Right, right, right.
At this point, can I bring up a potentially uncomfortable topic for Pat?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Because
It's always appropriate if it's Pat.
so,
I'm leaving the room, Margaret.
well, this incident took place in the kitchen, and it involved Stan and me and Mom and you, Pat. And Stan, do you remember getting so mad at Pat one time and running into the kitchen and complaining to Mom about how Pat could never do anything wrong? And
Oh,
we were always getting into trouble for something, but Pat was perfect. Do you remember? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. I think I remember. I don't know if it's because we've talked about it. You and I have talked about it frequently and still do, in fact, Pat.
Yes, probably often.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the potentially uncomfortable situation, Pat, is I was wondering if perhaps, because I remember you as part of this whole little incident being very upset and crying, and wondering if that was when you were in college and you were having such a hard time in school. Didn't you have to come home?
oh gosh, yes, and that was such a horrible, I, I'm not exactly sure what brought all of that on, but what caused me to come back home was a horrible dream that I had.
Oh,
Oh,
I was in the dorm room, and I didn't come home permanently because I was living on campus at the time, but I came home for a brief stay. The dream that I had was that I had um, a small hole in the middle of my forehead,
ooh,
and you could see inside this hole. You could see my brain, and it was rotten.
oh
oh
God.
no, Pat.
Uh,
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh sakes.
it was
oh,
horrible.
that's horrible.
I've never
It was,
heard this.
No,
it
me
was,
neither.
so I
Aren't
came,
aren't our dreams inventive and descriptive of stuff that may be
yes,
going on? It's
yes,
amazing.
yeah. And so Mom took me to see probably Dr. Hill. I think he was our doctor at the time. And, um, and he prescribed tranquilizers for me.
Wow.
Oh,
So I was on drugs for a period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be
My
darned.
God.
I did not
About
know.
about what year in school would that be, Pat?
Oh, let's see. Probably. I don't think lived on campus at all during my first year. So probably my second year.
Sophomore, then.
Yeah, sophomore year. Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's that, those things can be tough years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and fairness to you, Pat, you took you took the hardest classes possible. You took chemistry and German, you know, and the classes that you took were just, I mean,
Yeah.
they were hard classes.
And I carried 18 hours.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh, Pat. Good.
I was stupid. I mean, nobody counseled me to say,
Yes.
let's rethink this, Patricia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So no
That
one,
that was a downside that I think we maybe all of us have had as far as life advice. We had
Mhm.
life examples certainly from mom and dad, but life advice not so much.
right? Yeah,
Well, and
yeah,
the schools themselves at that time, when Pat was in school, and you and all of us, they didn't provide that kind of counseling. They just kind of let you sink or
Hmm.
swim,
Yeah.
and there was no
Yeah.
advice like, Pat, are you sure you want to take German and chemistry and you know
Well,
quantum
And if I,
physics and
I same way with, and I know I think I've already told you guys with math, getting behind in math, I think in first grade, and not I don't remember having any help,
no,
any
no,
Hmm.
no tutoring.
tutoring or any, they just kept pushing you forward to the next level. And I was failing math regularly until high school. Um, but they just kept pushing me through.
hmm hmm and speaking of math, um, um, speaking of math, yes, we were speaking of math. Yes, one of the classes that I was also taking because I was wanting to major in elementary ed, and and they were teaching quote the new math at that time, which uh, which was so hard for me to understand. I was just barely grasping regular math, let alone the
Yeah.
new. And so, yeah, I was definitely struggling as far as my classes were concerned. So,
And Pat, no one said counseled you like, why don't you start off a little slower, instead of at full speed?
18 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
no one said
no,
Yeah.
anything like that. Good heavens, that's horrible.
because, because it was kind of like a badge of honor
Yeah.
among the peer group. It was a badge of honor if you were carrying 18 credits.
Oh, good
Yeah.
heavens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So,
I I know that Dad tried to help me with this new math, Pat, too.
okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember getting one whole assignment wrong because all of my answers were correct, but I did them
Mm,
correctly.
You didn't
So
do it the right way, huh?
and I failed that assignment. I'm so upset about it.
Oh.
Why did
okay.
it matter how I arrived at it? I got the right.
Right. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Uh, Bill,
Okay.
did you want to tell him about that little cup on the stove there?
Yeah, I think I was actually I've been trying to move it, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. Um, Let me see if I can move it. Oh, yes, there we go. Now we can move it a little bit. Let me get it better located. Stan remembered this little container on the stove. This is not. You think it might have been a tin can? Is that right, Stan? But what's important was bacon grease was in it, and there are those of us who use that bacon grease to flavor the popcorn oil,
Oh,
cooking oil.
Oh boy.
And I still like the idea of it. The bacon flavored popcorn can be
uh-huh.
pretty doggone tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Does anybody remember that? Am I the only one who remembers that container of grease on the stove?
I I don't remember one on the stove. I remember Mom always had a container in the refrigerator with bacon grease in it.
Oh, was it? Was it in the refrigerator? That would make sense. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
otherwise they get rancid, I suppose,
Yeah.
after a while.
yeah, I remember there being one in the refrigerator also.
Oh, okay.
And but maybe you remember it being out on the stove stand. Maybe that's a good memory because that's when Dad was using it to make popcorn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That could easily be a plus.
well, and
Do you guys,
Dad, I'm
do you
sorry.
guys remember that the old stove or whatever stove, every stove we had, I guess, in there had that little light on it? Because I remember Dad sitting in the kitchen listening to sports on the radio with just that little kind
Oh, oh, the
kind
stove
of
light.
Oh, that's a nice
Was
memory,
was
Margaret.
where was the light located?
Well, I think it was just on the backsplash there, kind of in
Where
the
where
center.
where the dials and whatnot would normally be?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Okay.
I remember the light too, Margaret.
Yeah.
Has Margaret seen how you can do the rollover, Stan?
I don't know. Margaret, were you here? I don't think you were.
I don't
Oh,
think she
the
was.
stove. You had a stove that looked just like
Oh,
the stove.
yes, okay, you did see
Oh, you
that.
did. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. I'm sorry.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Can I interject for a moment here? And I need to take a little bit of a break. And you may continue if you want. I'll be right back. But I just need to get away for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna
All
get
right.
I'm gonna get some coffee. By the way, that grease was also used. Dad would, on occasion, when Mom didn't fix dinner for all of us, Mom would or Dad would fry. His specialty was fried potatoes that Pat hadn't peeled, and eggs. And he would fry the potatoes, as you know, and use some of that grease. He would use some of that bacon grease. I remember he would fry it in oil or lard or something, and then put in a little bit of the bacon grease with it. So that was those always were so good.
Yes. Yeah, I remember his fried potatoes
Oh, you
with
do? Oh,
eggs.
you do? Okay.
I remember it actually from 23rd Street.
Oh, really? Oh, neat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
And
you, do you
I'm sorry.
remember Mom burning the she was making Dad a fried egg sandwich? I want to say he came home for lunch like on a Saturday or something, and the house was or the kitchen was filled with smoke, and Mom was so upset, and she yelled at us to get outside. She didn't want us breathing the smoke.
Oh.
No, I don't
No.
remember that.
Oh,
That
don't
was so
remember that.
bad.
No.
I remember her melting that plastic basket in the oven, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and she
Plastic.
uh, little like a hamburger basket kind of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a
Uh-huh.
hamburger. Yeah,
Oh.
from the
I
A
see.
and W or
Okay.
something.
And she melted the pot of oatmeal on top of the stove that she fixed for us
Oh, and that's
when
yes.
we were all sleeping. And she
Yeah.
came home and put this oatmeal on to cook for our breakfast. She was doing us a nice thing, and it burned and melted.
Oh,
Bless her heart.
poor Mom. She
Yeah.
probably fell asleep.
I think she
Huh?
fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Do you know what happened to
Mom
that
indeed.
basket, that plastic basket that was melted in the stove?
What about it?
Do you remember what we did with it?
Oh, well,
We
it was hanging in strings off the grate.
yeah, and Mom, Margaret, you may remember this, but Mom took that off, peeled it off of the grate, and it had dripped down. I don't know, like some blob or something, but in different strings. And then Mom put little Christmas balls on little round Christmas balls, and I took it to school as a show and tell. And the teacher was so impressed. I think that she thought, oh my gosh, what is this?
That's hilarious.
Did Mom
How,
know?
how, how neat. How
Did
neat.
Mom know that you took it to school?
Yeah, I took it
Did,
to school for show and tell.
I know. Did Mom know that?
I don't know.
She probably would have been mortified to think that it was
Probably, yes, probably.
her mistake.
Well, I was so impressed. This is really cool, you know?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if other kids, and maybe even the teacher was impressed.
I think they
Right,
were.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I got the medal for
absolutely.
the day, the show and tell medal of the day. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, they probably still have. Is that what you have? You kind of sort of posted up on your wall.
Yes. Yes,
Wish I
exactly.
had one.
Margaret, you don't remember that what we did with that?
No, you're talking to me. No, I
Oh,
have no
I was
recollection.
asking Margaret, but I think Margaret's actually
Oh,
stepped off,
I think
stepped
she's
aside.
making a cup of tea. I think
I,
I'm making a cup of coffee.
Oh, okay. I'm
I'm,
gonna go get some coffee. I'm gonna shut. It's now 30 minutes, so we've been recording for. I'm gonna. This is quite an experiment. I have no idea if I can save this much
You
information
know
or not.
what? I forgot that we were recording it. This is very spontaneous.
Yes,
yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I'll stop it right now, and
Okay.
so we won't be recording our voices.
Oh.